I'm Paul Dockerill, Director of Energy and Programme Management at WHG. We have a 21,000 housing stock, mainly of which is placed in Walsall. My responsibilities consist of investment planning in asset management, building safety and designing our carbon neutral roadmap. Geographic information system mapping has provided a number of benefits to WHG in three key areas. The day-to-day need to have fast, reliable solutions to producing property and estate mapping, to use GIS to understand better our management and investment of our communities, and to support the mapping and understanding of carbon neutrality across our housing stock. The day-to-day benefit is that we can acquire red line drawings for sales planning and boundary clarifications. GIS gets turned around in 15 minutes for a fraction of the cost. On a more strategic level, having a speedy response to GIS data has informed our decision process in a more strategic manner and provides the flexibility to understand and appreciate our wider communities. Over the last 2 years, we've invested in an asset performance evaluation tool, which helps us understand what our net present value is of our stock, where we have poverty levels across our communities, and what health and social values look like across our communities. The data can be overlaid with the GIS mapping, so we better understand hotspots within our communities and what we can do to develop strategies accordingly. And it gives a more visual understanding of high yield and low social value areas across all our communities. Smarter investment planning can then be understood better. The long-term opportunity of GIS mapping with investment planning means the possibility of regeneration. So when we look at our poor stock, our poor estates where they're not performing, we have a better understanding of what life expectancy looks like across our whole stock. Therefore, we can think about the long-term planning of regeneration of some of our communities and what that might look like, and to do some early cost modelling around what that looks like as well. So using data has become valuable to visualise investment. It helps us to understand where we've right to buy has occurred within our communities and what that might look like in terms of cost modelling to reacquire and bring that back into our housing stock to be able to develop and create wholesale regenerations. We've also done work around digitalisation of our high-rise blocks, which means we've done a visual or digital twin of each of our high-rise blocks. We have 17 of those. And what that's predominantly helped us with is the building safety agenda. However, what it does do, it helps us with planning in the event of an incident occurring in one of our high-rise blocks. Not necessarily fire, but it may be a structural incident. But it would be, we'd understand the immediate area around one of those blocks and what impact it would have on that immediate environment. We've done some work with the West Midlands Fire Service, which included the digital model and GIS mapping, so that they can understand the logistics around one of our blocks and what that looks like. So if you've got industry, you've got schools, you've got communities already living there, that GIS mapping really helps us understand what that looks like, and those plans can be put in place prior to anything ever happening within those communities. So therefore, GIS also adds to building safety, and it also adds to what that might look like within the building safety case. So when landlords are developing those building safety cases for the new regulator, GIS is a better way of explaining what the community looks like in the wider context. So part of that mapping of the estates and what we understand from the investment planning is we can see what is available for regeneration. Now we have over 400 garage sites, most of them quite small, most of them built on land that's not very good in terms of pre-mining or just awkward pieces of land that just don't fit within a community and sort of tucked away and out of the way really. So those kind of pieces of land are useful to understand and know, because you can use them to help with your carbon neutral mapping tool. So when you've analysed the stock and you understand what you need to invest in on the stock, you can also look at the land and see where those offset opportunities could occur. So where you've got a garage site it cannot be developed, you can use it for carbon neutrality reasons. So that might be putting in small solar PV panels or a wind farm or whatever it is, but you can then use that to offset your carbon neutral stock. So that's our next piece of work at WHG. This is what we're going to use GIS mapping for next, and hopefully everybody else can see the same benefits. Thank you.